welcome to our today's class. I'm Mr. Kimwei, and I'll be taking you through inventory control. And by the end of this lesson, we'll be able to know what inventory control is. We'll be able to calculate various stock levels, and eventually we'll finish by calculating economic order quantity. The knowledge of inventory control is applicable in businesses in various ways, as we are going to see during this particular lesson. So we'll start by introducing inventory control, and we say it's just the process of managing a company's inventory so that we are able to ensure the right amount of inventory is available at all times. So this whole process involves tracking inventory levels, placing orders, making sales, and generally ensuring that we avoid overstocking, and two, we also avoid stockouts, which is understocking. It is usually a crucial part, especially because each and every step involves several costs, and therefore we have to find a balance, to strike a balance of what amount of inventory we'll be holding at each particular moment. We have three types of inventory, and the first type is raw materials, and these are just the commodities or the goods that we need in order to produce, to make our production. The second type is work in progress. This is the commodities that are being produced but they are not ready for use, they are not ready as final commodities. And three, we have finished goods, which are already goods that are ready for consumption after going through the production process, that are ready for sale and for consumption. We call them finished goods. Now, as I had introduced, we said inventory control aims at striking a balance between holding costs, ordering costs, and so on, and therefore we are going to look at the costs that are related to inventory. And the first cost that is related to inventory is purchase cost, and purchase cost is the cost of acquiring stock. For example, if you buy stock for 2,000 shillings, we call it purchase cost. We also have ordering costs, and these are costs that are involved in placing and processing orders. It involves emailing, making telephone calls, and all that. We call them ordering costs. Then three, we have carrying costs. And these carrying costs sometimes are also known as holding costs. Holding costs, and basically it refers to costs of storing inventory. When we purchase, we'll have something like a warehouse or a store where we'll be keeping our inventory. They require specialized equipment to make sure that they are not stale or they are not stolen, and therefore these costs here involve insurance, involve transportation and all that, involve security and all that. We call them carrying costs. Sometimes we also call them holding costs. So the two main areas that we apply the knowledge of inventory control is in calculating reorder levels, and we also finish by looking at economic order quantity. Under reorder levels, we have various terms. I've just summarized here, but they'll be explained in the notes. And the first term we have here is the reorder level, and this is the amount that when it reaches that particular point, then we have to place an order for the next commodities. We call it reorder level. The maximum stock level is the maximum amount of stock that we can hold for a particular period. When we hold more than this particular level, then we risk incurring too much holding costs. So this is the upper limit. The minimum stock level is the lower limit. This is the minimum amount that we can go beyond before placing an order. This is a red flag, in that when we go beyond this part, then it is possible that we'll have a stock out. That is, we run out of stock. We have reorder quantity, which is the amount that we can order at each particular moment. We call it reorder quantity. It is commonly known as economic order quantity, abbreviated as EOQ. We also have lead time. And lead time sometimes also known as procurement time. And this is the time taken for an order, between placing an order and replenishment of that particular stock. Then we have reorder period, which is how long it refers to the period that it takes for us to get a particular order. So we'll have an example on how to calculate these various stock levels, and then we move to economic order quantity. Our example says The following data relates to a particular stock item, and we have been given the values here. The first one is normal usage, and normal usage is 110 per day. We have minimum usage, which is 50 per day. We have maximum usage, which is 140 per day. We have lead time. I said lead time is the procurement time, and here we have been given as 25 to 30 days. That means when we place an order, we receive the commodities within 25 to 30 days, a minimum of 25 and a maximum of 30 days. It is important to note that lead time has minimum and maximum, and therefore the minimum here is 25 and the maximum is 30 days. Then we have the EOQ that was previously calculated. I've stated and said EOQ is the reorder quantity, and this is the amount that we order each and every time. We have been given as 5,000. This is from the previous experience, and therefore we are being asked to calculate reorder level is the first item. Now reorder level, we calculated using this formula: maximum usage times maximum lead time. I'm using max to represent maximum. Maximum usage times maximum lead time, and therefore our maximum usage from our question here is 140, and our maximum lead time is 30 days, and therefore we multiply 140 times 30, we get 4,200. This simply means we cannot go beyond 4,200. This is our upper limit. If we hold more than 4,200, it means at a particular time, then we risk incurring too much holding costs. 2, we are being asked to calculate the minimum stock level, and the minimum stock level, the formula is reorder level. This is what we have gotten here in part 1, and therefore when you miss out on part 1, you risk missing out on the rest of the parts, and therefore this is the reorder level, which we have here as 4,200 minus average usage times average lead time. Now, just to take you back to this particular question, average usage is sometimes called normal usage, and therefore if we have normal usage, then we will use normal usage. But if we don't have normal usage in the question, in this case, for example, if we didn't have 110 per day, then our average usage will have been the minimum usage, which is 50, plus maximum usage, which is 140, divided by 2, so that we get our average. So we'll use the normal usage because we have it here with the normal usage times the average lead time. The average lead time is the average of 25 and 30, because we say the lead time is 25 to 30, and therefore this will give us 25 plus 30 divided by 2, which is 27.5, which we have used here, and therefore when we subtract, we get an 1175. So this is the minimum level of units, and therefore when we store below 1175, we are risking stock outs. That is, we run out of stock at any particular production level. Then the maximum level is calculated as the order level. Again, this is the reorder level, which is 4,200 units. We add to EOQ. This is the economic order quantity that we had been given as previously calculated, which is 5,000. Then we are subtracting minimum usage times the minimum lead time. Minimum usage times minimum lead time, and therefore we have 4,200 plus 5,000 minus 50 times 25, which gives us 7950 units. This simply means 7950 is the maximum level that we cannot store beyond. Then the average stock level, which is the final part we have been asked to calculate, is simply the minimum stock level plus the maximum stock level divided by 2. And therefore, as we have calculated, the minimum stock level is 1175, and the maximum stock level is 7950, and this one gives us a total of 5,279 divided by 2, And the answer will be 4, 8, 6, 12, alafu 2, 1.5. So it will be 4861.5 units. This is the minimum stock level. So we are going to look at economic order quantity next. So having calculated the previous levels, the previous reorder levels, we'll look finally at economic order quantity, which is also an important aspect of inventory control. And what is economic order quantity? Sometimes we call it reorder quantity, and this is the most appropriate number of units to be purchased in order to minimize the costs related to inventory. And mostly, the costs we always aim at minimizing here are the ordering costs and carrying costs. The purchase costs will not be minimized because as we look at the assumptions of dealing with EOQ, there is no discount, and therefore we assume that the purchase cost remains the same throughout. So the costs we aim at minimizing here are only ordering costs and carrying costs. Therefore, how do we calculate economic order quantity? The formula is a root of, and therefore the final answer here we have to find the square root, 2DO CO divided by CC, where D is the annual demand. Remember, it is annual demand. D is the annual demand. CO is the ordering cost per year. And then CC is the carrying cost. Sometimes it's also known as holding cost, and therefore in our formula, sometimes we can use CC or we can use H for holding cost. They mean the same thing, and therefore carrying cost is the same as holding cost. The assumptions we make while calculating economic order quantity are: 1, the demand is known with certainty. So we assume that we are given the demand. The ordering cost will remain. We also assume that the ordering cost will remain fixed throughout, so that it does not change at any moment during that particular period. The third assumption is that the quantities to be ordered are also known with certainty. Then number 4, the holding cost remains constant. And number 5, there is no quantity discount. That means the purchase cost will not change. And therefore, we'll have an example on how to calculate economic order quantity. And we are given information here. The following information relates to product DK. And this is just a material that is used to produce product DK. The annual consumption is 24,000. So this represents the annual demand, 24,000 units. The ordering cost here is 2,400 per order, and the carrying cost is 20 shillings per order. And therefore, we are asked to calculate one economic order quantity. We say the formula for calculating economic order quantity is the root of 2DCO divided by CC, which is the demand and ordering cost and carrying cost, and therefore 2 times the demand, the annual consumption, which the annual demand is 24,000. Then we are multiplied by 2,400, which is the ordering cost. Then we divide by the carrying cost, which are the holding costs, which is 20. And therefore, we get 5,760,000. And when we find the square root, we get it as 2,400 units. So this is the economic order quantity. It means this is the amount we will be ordering at each particular moment. When we need to replenish, then we'll order 2,400 units. That is the significance of EOQ. The second part is asking for the number of orders per year. And how this one is asking how many orders will we make in this particular year. We already know the annual demand, which is the annual consumption, as 24,000. And at each particular moment, we'll be ordering 2,400, which is the EOQ. So this will be annual demand divided by EOQ, which will be 24,000 divided by 2,400, and that means we will place 10 orders that particular year. Then 3, we are being asked to calculate the total cost, total relevant cost, and we say the total cost here involves carrying costs and ordering costs. And therefore, we have both formulas, one for calculating the carrying costs and the second one for calculating the ordering cost. The carrying cost is calculated as E or Q. Sometimes we use just Q for economic order quantity, and therefore when you find somewhere in a book they have used Q, then they are simplifying to E or Q. So E or Q times the carrying cost divided by 2, then we are adding to annual demand times the ordering cost divided by the EOQ, which we have calculated here. And therefore, we have 2,400 times 20 divided by 2 plus 24,000 times 2,400 divided by 2,400, which is the EOQ. And here we get our total costs as 48,000 shillings. Thank you and see you in our next class.